there's a there's something about the about some characters in this show. For instance, Scar seems to be on a different trajectory than what he was in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Originally, he was just seen as just nothing but a pure villain.
Right.
That the Elric brothers would have to fight consistently throughout the series.
But now he's seeming more like an ally.
Yes.
To be able to understand alchemy and how it ties in with alchemy.
Yeah.
And potentially save the country.
Potentially, yes. And that's awesome. And then, of course, you also have Kimblee, which Kimblee...
I hate him.
He's more of a pure villain, but yet at the same time, he's good at performing and acting like he cares. It's just like he was able to coerce
Winry.
Yeah. Just basically say, I'm glad to have you with us. I knew your parents. They were good people. I guarantee in the back of his mind...
He didn't know shit about them.
He was just like, stupid little bitch.
When we were talking earlier about Homelander, that's the kind of character Homelander comes off as to me.
Yes, I could definitely see that.
Kimblee's, very similar.
I could definitely see that. But anyway, so we have episode 40 queued up here. This one... A little bit of it's called The Dwarf in the Flask. So, I guess let's just leap right in and let's see what happens. Here we go.
They posted you in Central, Mustang? You're well connected.
It's solely based on merit.
That's rich coming from you.
Huh.
I hope you know I could eat you into bankruptcy.
Maybe we should skip dinner then.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Last one to stop eating loses.
I see.
Or first one to stop eating loses. Sorry.
Short on both money and nerve, huh? I simply don't understand how you can employ someone as careless and incompetent as General Raven.
Is that the reason you saw fit to dispose of him?
Surely you don't need him. I assume you'll be needing someone to fill that fool's vacant seat.
Oh. That's a Hail Mary.
I like the way you play. Very well. You can have General Raven's seat.
We act with one will. That's the Fort Briggs way. From here on, the bears will fight the tigers.
Is it the Dwarf in the Flask?
Yeah. That's the name of the episode.
Just made my brain go, get in the flask.
What are you talking about, man? I'm talking about an 8-piece. Let's go. Freaking little Nicky.
Get in the flask.
I'm not thirsty. You are crazy. It's such a stupid movie, but it has so many good lines.
Ozzy.
Bite his freaking head off.
Scar is up in the north. The Elric brothers are up there as well.
I see. Then Uni and Lucy again. Uni once more. And then Sterling. Salim Bradley is a homunculus.
Bingo.
I was gonna say, burn that.
Damn.
They're good. Like speaking in code
That's
like
awesome.
that. Yeah, speaking in code like that, especially when they've known each other that long, guarantee like she knows wherever there are shadows, Salim is more than likely watching. So speaking in code like that is the best way of avoiding any kind of... God, I just love that shit so much.
You are the one who gave me blood, right?
I guess so. He said he was going to use it for an experiment.
I exist today because you gave me your blood. Von Hohenheim. How does that sound?
So Von Hohenheim, huh? I think I can remember that.
You can call me the Dwarf in the Flask homunculus.
Immortality. Tell me, is it possible or isn't it?
Growing impatient in your old age? How lamentable, King of Xerxes.
Does that sound familiar?
Xerxes.
The kingdom of Xerxes, the extinct kingdom that all of a sudden one day...
Okay, I'll tell you how you can achieve immortality.
The transmutation circle.
And not only that, what's the other primary catalyst?
No survivors.
Human life. Mass slaughter.
The king will achieve immortality.
This is immortality. No, you must be wrong. You said if we were in the center of the circle, we wouldn't be harmed.
That's not the center.
You and I are at the center of everything.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's the big eyeball. This is some Lovecraftian looking shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone's dead. The whole damn city.
Is anyone out there?
Your body, how is it feeling?
It's me. Impossible.
Using your blood, I created a receptacle for myself. I've given you a body that will live forever. You hear them, don't you? The voices of all the people in this country who were offered in exchange for my immortality. I appreciate your cooperation,
Also,
Hohenheim.
2 Philosopher's Stones.
Yes.
Wow.
Imagine having to deal with that every day for hundreds of years of his life. The internal screaming of hundreds of thousands of citizens of that city.
Wow.
Just hearing that all the time, wriggling, writhing. Just, and knowing that there's nothing you can do about it, really.
I'll be trying to build a spaceship so I can fly myself to the sun and jump into it.
Jesus.
You have seen the truth. What did you sacrifice?
My insides were taken. I was trying to bring my child back to life.
I'm sorry.
He shoved his hand into you.
But my breathing, it's easier. There's no wound.
That's impossible.
I did rearrange your entrails somewhat to improve the flow of blood. I am a philosopher's stone in the form of a man. That's what I am.
I guess it also explains Ed and Al's innate talent for alchemy. Their dad's literally a philosopher's stone who's just walking around all willy-nilly.
See, the one thing I'm kind of wondering is like how he went in and got like his full-ass body back intact and such, you know?
Who?
Hohenheim.
Philosopher's stone, dude. He is a literal philosopher's stone, and he can break all the rules.
I guess it's because of the huge summoning circle thing.
Yes.
Like, and that's the whole deal is like they didn't have the huge soul fuel behind what they were doing.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah. So it was just surprising to me when I saw like his whole body break up in the white light like theirs did, you know, that like he came back fully intact, it seemed.
Yes, and honestly, if they didn't have the Philosopher's Stone as their catalyst for that, then Hohenheim's body would have probably never returned. Same thing with the homunculus.
So
But
that explains why there's
started
2.
as a little homunculus in a flask.
yes, just little black ball in a
Little bottle gremlin.
yes.
So I'm guessing, though, by the looks of him, he looks like he's gotten pretty gray, so something must be up with his...
Well, I mean, he's been creating homunculi.
True, like, that's the thing I'm wondering, like, is why he would create more homunculi. I guess it's a whole thing, like, just propagating his kind or whatever, but, like, it seems like it's taking a toll on him, and I'm assuming him making this new, circle and Amestris is to continue his immortality.
I mean, honestly, you have to think after hundreds of years of him shaping that country, building it up and everything, maybe he's finally figured out like how, like, what he will need to be 100% to make it even bigger and better than it was last time. Because, the technology and the population of Amestris is much greater than that of Xerxes. Xerxes was like, I think, 1 million people, whereas the whole of Amestris, I believe the population is like 10 times that. And instead of it being split up between two entities, Hohenheim and the homunculus, or father, instead it'll all be going to father. And I think that's what he's after.
So his master did an experiment with his blood.
Yes.
And that's what created the homunculus, right?
Yes, basically it's not really said 100% what kind of experiment was done, but it would be something akin to transmuting the blood, not necessarily human transmutation, but just transmuting the blood itself to see what would happen. And I guarantee you it was an experiment of trial and error, because you noticed he was in the flask the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think and what was the threat that the one guy said? He's just like, if you don't show respect, I'll come over there and smash your flask.
Yeah, I'm assuming he would just poof.
Yes. It's basically like a controlled fungus or something like that, and if it is exposed to open air, it'll die. And basically, I think that's what happened. He committed that...
Well, he kind of looked to me like a little gas cloud, so I'm assuming the glass was essentially like his skin.
Yes.
Like holding him together.
Yes.
Like, so I would assume if it was smashed, like, it wouldn't just be the exposure to air, it would be, like, literally, like, he would just come apart and...
He would dissipate.
Yeah, like, it'd be like a cloud just kind of, like, into nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he looked like smoke or a shadow, like, so I would just assume he would just into nothing.
Poof.
But the weird thing to me, though, is just the fact that the way he was made and the knowledge he had.
He came through the gate.
I guess so.
That's the thing. I mean, he's a homunculus.
I guess he was from beyond the gate or whatever.
Yes.
And the eye, like,
and also,
the eye is similar to what's beyond the gate. So.
And also, you gotta think about this. Is just like, I don't even think he 100% knows where he's from. He just knows that he exists and he has this knowledge.
Could be.
That's the other thing. But you have a little bit of...
He might know now
after seeing the truth?
Yeah, after going through and getting his new body and everything.
Probably. But, yeah, let's check this out.
The Sorcerer's Stone. The Celestial Stone. The Grand Elixir. The Philosopher's Stone is known by many names. It's not necessarily a stone. To create a Philosopher's Stone that big, you'd have to kill thousands of people. Maybe it's possible, but I would never want to see it.
Well, he has another reason to never see his dad again.
Yeah.
Especially if he knew the truth about what his dad was. Damn. So we got the full backstory on what happened in Xerxes. Sheesh.
There's still a lot of questions about Hohenheim and his history that I still wonder too. It's like, well, it's not really so much his history now. It's kind of his history. It's just like, okay, now that we know that part, I still am wondering exactly why, after having a family and everything, that he just pieced out. Like, what he's been currently doing while traveling around. Like, what his objective has been. I'm assuming he's probably looking for father. But
probably, but also
maybe whenever I guess like whenever Ishval happened, he probably took notice of that.
He noted, actually, I mean, remember, he saw the patterns back then in Xerxes when, it's like, I heard the North Village was attacked. What a terrible tragedy. And it's just like, and I guarantee he heard, it's like, have you heard about the war in Ishval? I heard it was a massacre. And I guarantee he, in his head, he was just like, it's happening again.
So, like, we've been kind of suspicious of him up to this point, but I'm starting to actually be more of the assumption that he is probably actually trying to prevent this from happening in some way himself. Because I would say that he probably doesn't want to see that happen again.
Well, of course not. I mean, he literally watched his whole civilization go up in smoke. And
he's been listening to their screams ever since.
Exactly. All, like, hundreds of thousands of them.
Yeah.
You got to think that right there. Like, if I had to deal with that on a daily basis, I couldn't, like, every time I slept, I would just hear screams internally. And voices screaming for help, knowing full well that it's not going to happen, and there's nothing I can do to truly help them.
Yeah.
That is, like, that to me is just, oof. There's a lot to decipher with that. But yeah, the Dwarf and the Flask. This was a great episode. I'm glad that we were able to get to it, and I'm glad y'all were able to see the true origins of both von Hohenheim and Father. Because this, I remember when I saw this, I was just like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Didn't expect to get that much background in one episode all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Once again, conveyance and just like everything presented just so well. Like nothing was really left up in the air. And that's what I liked about it. Anyway, I think that's going to do it. So until next time, everybody, I'm Nate.
I'm Kate.
I am Nick.
Y'all be good people. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.